I hear you've been to the Bosnian Pyramids. Can you tell us about what happened there?
Yeah. So they haven't gone into the Bosnian Pyramid itself, but they did enter the tunnel system 9 years ago, actually, using the same scanning technology as I've been using for the new find in Egypt. And so I was filming. I was there speaking at the Hidden Mysteries conference, and we went into the tunnel system. And I didn't realize we were going to be in there for 2 hours. And I didn't bring my water bottle, and I was carrying this heavy camera, and I was filming, and I started to feel like my kidneys were shutting down, and I was really feeling dehydrated. And we got into this area that must have been like the medical center or whatever. And all of a sudden, I stood up straight, my kidneys released the pressure, and all of a sudden I started to feel fabulous. I'm thinking, what's going on here? And so Dr. Sam, who runs it, started to explain how the water down there is super healing, and the effects of standing in the tunnels can last for up to 2 months. And it's true, every time I see him, he looks younger. And he has been Dr. Yes, where Zahi Hawass in Egypt was Dr. No. He'd say no to everybody. And so Dr. Sam has allowed any kind of research or any kind of methodology to come in and take measurements. And they have found that there's 14,000 times the negative ions down there. And when you film down there, you pick up these plasma beings. So if you just take a still picture, we call them orbs. But there's actually these beings that are, or something, some kind of energy that's flying around down there. And they've done a lot of measurement. And then they collect the water, because all pyramids in the tunnel systems underneath have a source of water and zigzag passageways. And those pyramids have been dated. I saw the certificate with my own eyes, 38,000 years ago, which brings it into the Stone Age, which brings it into matriarchal times. So here I was with all my information about angels and archetypes, which is all the matriarchal cultures, and all the energy about pyramid power, knowing that the pyramids were older, meeting in the middle. What's more, I was in the lab filming, and Timothy Moon, the head archaeologist, said, look what I found yesterday. And it was a little statuette of Medusa. He says, I called her Medusa. I just about dropped the camera. And he says, but this is a left-handed culture. I'm like, what do you mean? So they have all these little stones, which look like the runes from my book. If you put them in your right hand, they don't fit. If you put them in your left hand, they do. And they found this piece of baby bear bone that had been drilled with holes, and people tried to play it. And the head trumpet player for the Bosnian Symphony Orchestra put it in his left hand, and I've got footage of him in a forest, and he gets 4 octaves out of it. And no one could play it before because they're playing it in the right hand, which is patriarchal times. So all of a sudden we have the matriarchal pyramid power. Who's talking about this? It's amazing. Completely amazing.